Before we get started, this is a Rebel Without a Clue media production. Strange minds, loud hearts, no apologies. We're a collective of friends from different walks of life talking metal, wrestling, horror, books, film, and all the weird stuff in between. Check out all of our shows: Black Manifold Transmissions, That Don't Work For Me Brother, Slumber Party Massacre Luncheon, Horny Little Book Club, The Revolution Will Be Broadcast, and Bullshittin'. You can find all of that at rebelwithoutaclue.com. That's rebel, W-O-A, clue.com. You can also find our podcast on Spotify and Apple. So please follow, subscribe, and find your show at rebelwithoutaclue.com.
You're all invited to the Slumber Party Massacre Luncheon.
We'll tear your soul apart.
Thanks of this, Michael. Be one of us. Oh! Death has come to your little town, Sheriff. You can either ignore it, or you can help me to stop it.
What's up, goons, goblins, ookie spookies of all sorts? Welcome back to the Slumber Party Massacre Luncheon. I'm one of the hosts of this show. My name is Rob.
I'm one of your other hosts, Hunter. We are missing Will and Brad today, but we are very fortunate to not just be the two of us. We have another guest host with us today. You may know him from Watch List Wednesday, which is actually starting back up this June. He is an owner of the Natural State Media Group, which puts out other podcasts like Watch List Wednesday and The Clever Angle. He is also one of Orlando's biggest trivias on Wednesdays and the most popular brunch trivia in Orlando, Florida on Sundays. He hosts festivals. He does Pitch a Friend. Incredibly talented, and we are incredibly excited to have him on the podcast. My friend and yours, Jordan Owen.
What is going on, guys? What is up? What is up? I'm thankful to be on the show. Thanks for having me today.
Yeah, man. I actually caught up with Jordan. I've known, just a little background, I've known Jordan, ninth grade, 8th grade, something in there.
Oh, wow, okay.
A lot of dumb shit he and I have been a part of. A lot of stupid memories, a lot of fun.
Okay.
Known each other for a long time. We caught up in Orlando when I was at Disney World for my nephews and had some beers, and I was like, hey, I'm a part of a podcast. I know that you and Tevin had one. Would love for you to come on to ours. I think you'd be a great fit. So incredibly excited to have him on and talk. We're going to do a movie review today for the movie Weapons. But before we hop in and talk about the movie, just wanted to start off with Jordan, what draws you to horror? Do you like horror? Do you not like horror? You tolerate it? Kind of what is your relationship with horror? And if so, if you like it, what draws you into it?
Yeah. So, I mean, to be completely honest, so our show, Watch List Wednesday, we cover more of the comic book, action, things like that. And then, as horror has essentially taken a renaissance, I would say, in the past couple of years. I just feel like it's just become more of a popular genre. It's become more, you're getting these A-list directors, not just these guys that do horror and they do it really well, but they don't really step out. You're getting these amazingly talented guys that are stepping into horror. So my introduction to it was, and you're going to laugh about this, but really one of my first horror movies that I watched was at an older age, and it was It Part 2. or It Part 1 with
Really?
yeah. And I listened to your podcast, your Stephen King podcast. So I thoroughly loved that one, and got me back into. That was the first horror movie I watched was It Part 1.
Awesome.
Yeah, I think, Jordan, you're exactly right. I think we've talked about it a couple times that when you've got like Coogler with Sinners and you've got Jordan Peele with, his whole catalog pretty much, but you've got directors, Andy Muschietti, who did it, directors that aren't necessarily horror directors that are getting into horror. And then, there are directors that I think, like Sam Raimi, who do horror really well, who have stepped out of it. But I think that we're kind of seeing that bridge, and it's nice. I think that it kind of lightens things up and gives it a new perspective, and it freshens the genre up so that you're not getting – because I do think that there were times in the early 2000s and even the 90s and maybe some parts of the 80s where horror was maybe a little stuffy because – It never stepped out of and tried new things, or rarely. At least certain directors didn't.
It was everything. We're breaking away. We're making new tropes.
Right.
Yeah. No, you guys are 100% right. Sorry, Rob. I didn't mean to step on your toes there, man.
Oh, no. Go ahead.
It is. So living in Orlando, Halloween Horror Nights is like a massive thing down here. And these people go crazy for Halloween Horror Nights. And it just, the Blumhouse and all these studios have just been pouring a lot more money into the horror genre. And it's just, it seems like it's more fun than ever. And I can tell you, the movie that we're going to review, I had a ton of fun watching it. So I'm excited for us to, because I'm not a horror guy. I'm a comic book nerd and Lord of the Rings and Star Wars, that's my genre.
Gotcha.
So stepping into horror, this is gonna be a fun because you guys are the OG, the masters of it, and I'm coming in with a little bit different perspective here, so it's gonna be fun.
That's very.
I would say I'm gonna go ahead and pitch something before we get started. I think we need another movie review, Rob.
Yes.
Specifically for Doctor Strange, Multiverse of Madness. Because I think that would be a good bridge, because it is Sam Raimi. It has more horror than any comic book movie other than maybe Blade. Like there's a scene in there, and Jordan, the one I'm talking about is where Wanda confronts the other Avengers. And that one it's horror. It's straight up. It is straight up horror. So I think we could do another review of that one to kind of because we're always looking for something new. We've got our horror, but we try something new.
What about Spawn?
Hell yeah.
That's actually, I think they're rebooting that. They're rebooting that one, I believe.
Really?
Yeah, I think they are. Yeah.
That'd be interesting.
Yeah. So anyway, very excited. So obviously today we're talking weapons. Zach Cregers is one of my favorite up and coming directors. I think he and Ty West are probably a tie for me. Yeah. If not, I think Zach may narrowly edge him out just for the humor, because for those of you listeners who don't know, he was a part of that comedy troupe, The Whitest Kids You Know. You probably know of a clip or a bit that they've done, and it doesn't stick.
You may not even know it's The Whitest Kids You Know, but you've seen their stuff.
Right. And then I know he starred in another, it was
Miss March.
There was another one that he did that was on TBS where it was Lost, a parody of Lost.
It was awesome.
Yeah, it was. And he did so great with the comedic side of it. But there were a couple episodes in that were tense. Yeah. And I remember even then going back now and being I can see where he, in Key and Peele, there were some sketches where Jordan Peele took a tense moment and made it funny. And I'm now looking back and I'm like, oh, I get it. I get how he took comedy and now puts it in, Nope and things like that.
They had some dark sketches.
They really did. Yeah.
And The Whitest Kids You Know had some very macabre shit, dude. One of my favorite sketches they ever did was the guy that owns the hardware store, and he puts out a commercial because his hardware store is not doing enough business. So he puts out this commercial threatening the community to start digging up their dead relatives if they don't come out and clear out the store.
Yeah.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah. So,
I love that shit. He's just I'm digging them up.
I'm digging them up. Funny enough, Jordan, when I started, I had a similar renaissance as you. I didn't really do horror. I got back into it after, I watched it when we were, 7th, 8th grade. I watched it, when you had Saw and that kind of stuff. And then kind of put it off for a while, and I got back into it, and Rob was the one who recommended Barbarian, which is Zach Cregger's first one, and I fell in love. It is, to me, it hits everything a horror movie needs to hit. It's got great pacing, it's scary, it's got a great monster, it's got multiple monsters, if we're going to be honest.
We should definitely bring you back for a Barbarian if you haven't seen it.
Yeah, I haven't seen it. So let's. I would love to. Because like what you were saying, Hunter. Comedy is just a different perception of tragedy as horror. You can take a horror movie and make it funny, and it's kind of. I think that's what. Yeah. I think honestly, that's what happened to horror. Is Scary Movie and all of those things made these things funny, where it almost became. Too much of a bit, and then now it's coming back into horror's making its own renaissance, and it's just a different perspective on tragedy. But yeah, he does it great. He's fantastic, and I didn't know that till I did the research of this that it was him from Whitest Kids You Know, and I lost my mind.
I'm telling you.
Yeah. Barbarian is great. We'll have to bring you back for Barbarian. It's creepy. Dude, it's so good. And there are moments in that one, and when we get into the actual review, there are moments in this movie that, I remember reading the reviews to this movie, and it talked about how I laughed literally out loud. I was rolling in the floor, and I remember thinking, that's odd. And then I got in the movie, and I don't really there were a couple moments that were I chuckled a little bit.
Yeah.
But the ending of this movie, I had tears rolling down my eyes. I was laughing so hard, which is so funny because the ending is not funny, but it's also funny. He does that I think he does that real well, where he can take, and I'll give it, I will go ahead and I'll give an example. One of my favorite moments in this is when the deputy goes to the addict, the homeless guy, and he's like, hey, do you have anything on you that might, if I stick my hands in your pockets, is there anything that might stick me? And he's like, no. And first thing, sticks it in, hypodermic needle, and just cold cocks that dude and drops him. And I remember giggling and thinking, that's exactly what I would have done. I would have dropped him like a bad habit. I would have dropped him. That made me giggle. Honestly, at the very end, when those kids are ripping her, and Josh Brolin just grabs his kid and walks off fuck those other kids, Yeah. Those other kids are still doing their business, and he just grabs his kid and walks off. Totally negligent of all the other children there. He's just got mine, don't care about the rest. That made me also laugh. So there are moments in here that he really made me cackle.
My first thought of that, my girlfriend was watching the movie with me, and she looked up and she goes, oh my God. And I go, can you imagine coming out of that and just having some old lady's jaw in your hand? You know what I mean? It was insane. Yeah. It was insane. But yeah, I there was a few moments, when he smoked that homeless guy, I was like, yes. And then I was like, oh shit, we're in a movie. This is not real.
One thing I really like I guess so. Let's start with the plot. So in the plot of this movie, in the middle of the night, all these children just get up and run full penguin style with their hands behind them, no pumps at all, take all off in the same direction in a straight line. Yeah. They go missing, and it's one kid. It's an entire class of children, and all of them go missing except for one. And so the community is just throttled on, does it have something to do with the kid? Is it the teacher, which is the more likely what parents are going for? Is it, why would it be one teacher's class, right? So everyone's kind of jumping on her wagon and all over her, especially Josh Brolin's character, who is just absolutely devastated at the loss of his son and can't come to terms with it. She is struggling with alcoholism because she can't come to terms with why these kids are. I mean, she has no answers. She doesn't understand it either.
Now this whole community's breathing down her neck. Like,
the one kid she did have, I think his name's Alex, is now removed from her class and is in another class. Then what I like about this movie that is unlike other ones that I've seen is the way that he unfolds the timeline, right?
Yeah.
So it's almost like he goes from A to B, and then someone else's perspective picks up from B to C. And then someone else's perspective picks up from C to D. Yeah. And you kind of go through and you chop it up, and it's hers and then Josh Brolin's and then the principal and then Alex's, and you go through that, so you're getting the same story chronologically, but from different people's perspectives, and it may have a little overlap to kind of give you, because each person's perspective kind of ends on a cliff note, if you will, or a cliffhanger, and then it goes to the next person and picks up a little before that to give you kind of a little intel on that. Right. Yeah. Very cool the way that it does that. So we later find out that it is the kid. And Rob, you want to take over on kind of the like what's going on in the background, because we're left for forever trying to figure out why.
So this whole thing is going on. This is your A plot, right? Also, while this is going on, Alex at home has been having just a real hard time. Yeah. She just shows up, right?
Yeah, Gladys. Yeah,
Gladys. So Aunt Gladys, has come over to Alex's house, and you find out pretty quickly that Gladys is not a good character, not a good person. She is basically taken over. She takes over this home. She has the parents of this I loved, like, every time she's on screen.
Well, she won an Academy Award.
I know. But she said so little.
Yeah.
When you think about it.
But she's terrifying. But she's terrifying.
Yeah.
The whole time.
I think they aren't they doing a spinoff for Gladys?
Yes.
Yeah. So she's getting her kind of like prequel on her kind of magic / witchery or whatever.
Yes.
I think my favorite scene with Gladys is at the principal's house, at Benedict Wong's house. Yeah. That is, for me, just her showing up, and like, she's super awkward and very hard to look at. Mm-hmm. And he doesn't feel okay or comfy about this situation at all. His partner is like, come on, let her in. And hell breaks loose.
Dude.
And that's actually when we kind of, it's at that moment we get the magic system. Like, she kind of explains it, right?
But how many times of that?
Alex.
That is the first time you actually see her kind of putting it to work, because she sees the ribbons in his. She's like, I need to take something from him, and then he goes, is that my ribbon? And you figure out, she as long as she has a possession of you, she can control you. But how many times have we all been in that situation where we know something's up and our partner's like, no, come on in. And you're like, stop it. Like, you don't want to be the awkward. You don't want to be the asshole. There's so many times where I'm like, oh, shit. But he clocked it immediately, I think. I think he clocked it immediately.
I'm the partner. I'm the dude. Listen, vampire comes to my house, and they're like, hey, can you let me in? Sure. Come on in. We're fucked because of me.
There's so many times we've been in public, and Amber will just start talking to a stranger. and we will leave that situation, and I'll have to be like, baby, that was so clearly a fucking murderer. Like, you don't understand. Like,
yeah, that person kills people.
Yeah.
That's me. I'm Amber in that situation. I am the person who lets Gladys into the house.
Now, so the parents, though.
Yes.
Forgive me, I did not rewatch the film. The parents, they know Gladys, right? Like, there's no
Gladys is her estranged aunt because the dad is like, I know her. This is super odd. Like, I don't know that I've ever met her, but she just wants to come to our house and stay. Is that not weird to you? And she's like, yeah, but it's family. We have to, right?
Yeah, it's kind of more of an obligation, more of an obligation, less of a, hey, we love Aunt Gladys. It's, hey, my Aunt Gladys, I haven't seen her in forever, but she's sick and she needs our help. She's going to stay here for like a month. Yeah.
And it goes off the rails almost instantly with her, right? Like, I don't think there's much, like, it's not really shown to us that she lives with them long. It's my understanding she puts them under the trance
pretty immediately,
and then
right to business. Yeah. She gets right to business as soon as she gets in that house, like day one.
And that scene where she explains it to Alex is terrifying. Where he just wants his family, and then he doesn't quite. I mean, keep in mind, this child is like second or third grade. Yes. He doesn't understand what's going on. And when she has them continuously stab their faces with that fork, it's gut wrenching.
That scene, dude.
that scene right there was what, like, when I looked at her, I was like, oh, you're the terrifying villain. You're the, like, you're not being possessed. You're the, like, because, you never know if it's a demon possessing somebody, because they do give a good job of this whole movie where you kind of know maybe something's up with her, but maybe something's not up, and then in that moment you're like, oh, you're the bad, like, it's you. It's just all you.
Yes. You're
also evil. If anybody who has seen Barbarian or any other works by Zach Cregers would know that Zach Cregers is also not scared to throw a curveball at you.
No.
And so it wouldn't have shocked me if Gladys wasn't the bad one, right? So, like, that's the other thing is, having seen him and been like understand that he could throw anything at any moment. I wasn't sure if it was Gladys, and then we kind of get that scene and that confirmation. It's terrifying. We then go on with Julia Garner's character, and she's struggling with addiction, with alcohol. Yeah. She is flirting with an old.
Sleeps in her car a lot.
Yeah, has an old flame. And he is, I think, he's married, right?
I believe.
Yes. He's married. His wife is out on a trip.
Yeah, you're exactly right. They never truly said it. They were either engaged or married, but the way she was talking to him about, hey, ovulating and things, you would think that they're married.
Right. And he works for her dad, who is the sheriff.
Yeah.
Which makes things, or police chief, which makes things all the more complicated when he gets entangled with her, has an affair. And again, this is chopping that timeline up. Having an off day, goes to the homeless guy, he's trying to see if there's a lead with those kids.
Yes.
Goes to this homeless dude. He frisks him, ends up getting a hypodermic needle, knocks him the fuck out, feels terrible about it. Oh, by the way, his body cam is on, catches all of it, goes and tells his father-in-law, basically tells him, I told him to get the fuck out of town, don't ever show up again. Father-in-law's like, you're on thin ice. Like, you better pray that this guy never shows up, ever.
Yeah.
Walks out of the police department, and the motherfucker's right there.
Yes.
Ends up chasing him. I think this is where things get even funnier for me, is when he chases after that guy, goes to the tent, and doesn't he throw, like, he gets him in the face with hypodermic needles, doesn't he?
Yeah, well, yeah.
Oh,
so
I don't remember that.
Yeah, so, you're right. So what happens is he is the homeless guy is basically a junkie, right? And he's just checking unlocked doors to get more, trying to get more heroin. And he sees Alex's house that's empty, right? And he's like, okay, well, maybe I'll go in there. Starts jugging
That's
shit
right.
from there, and then all of a sudden sees the family and is like, oh shit, and then tries to get out. Runs downstairs, opens a door, runs downstairs, is like, there's kids and there's a $50,000 reward. So he's like, I'm going to go get $50,000. I can get more heroin, man. Like, I'm about to go get more smack.
Yeah, dude.
And he's like, I'm about to OD. I'm pumped. Yeah, I'm pumped. And goes trying to collect it. And the cop literally is Paul, who is, the son-in-law of the police chief, sees him and is like, I told you to get your ass out of here, and ensues, and he goes, hides in a tent. And when he gets him, he stabs him with 3 more needles in the face. And I'm like, I'd have killed that guy if he stabbed me with that many needles.
Dude. Yeah.
Paul's character, from start to finish, has a terrible to go of it. Like, for a vanilla character that offers very little to the actual plot and narrative, he has a lot of shit go wrong for him. He gets hypodermic needle twice. The final battle at the end where he gets cheese grated to the face.
That shit.
Ooh. And he yeah, that was terrible. I did have to look away. That was the only part in the movie I was just like, I can't do this. Getting cheese grated to the face.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah.
So they revealed that all these kids are in the basement, right?
Right.
Yep.
And that's when you get the rest of, like, Alex's story about, like, gathering up all the stuff from the classmates and, like, basically the hell that he's been living through in his home.
So Gladys is using their energy, if you will. She needs as many people as possible.
Yes.
And so she's got the mom and dad, but she needs a lackey. If she draws too much attention and Alex is not there, people are going to come looking. So she uses Alex to get as many people as possible with the blackmail of she'll make his parents kill themselves in front of him. So he goes, he feels terrible about it, and he takes all of their nameplates off of their cubbies. And then she does the ritual with that, and all of the kids at a random hour in the middle of the night or morning run to their house. And that's where Josh Brolin's character kind of comes in, and he starts piecing together that they're running in a due straight, like wherever they're coming from, they're all running in a straight line, right? And so he kind of
place.
Right. So he sort of pinpoints where they're going, and that's where he comes up with Julie Garner and is like, hey, I'm no longer against you. I'm with you. We need to investigate this house. And that's where we're leaving out the Benedict Wong part where she confronts him and tries to get him to kill her. But you fast forward to that scene where things come to the climax was insane. I mean, start to finish, that scene is just absolutely nuts because it is it's haunting. It's also fucking funny.
Yeah.
Because she's having like a this is her final hurrah, right? Because doesn't she locks the parents in a bathroom and says, "Here's the salt line, don't cross the salt line."
Yes.
And then he, when all hell breaks loose, and Julie Garner and Josh Brolin come in to wreck shit, and they're fighting against the zombified Paul and Junkie. At that point, the little kid goes in to see his parents, crosses that salt line.
Yep.
They go fucking bonkers, which is terrifying that they're chasing their own kid.
I know, dude.
Mortified, scared shitless. At that point, he breaks. The break is kind of to signal everything, right? So he uses her magic against her and sends those little goddamn children against her, and all hell breaks loose. Again, that scene where those kids take off out of that fucking basement and they're after Gladys to the time that the movie ends is just chef's kiss.
Release the hounds.
Yeah. It's shot like an episode of Daredevil where it is just it's got the action camera where you got like someone running and it's just the camera of their face. And it's just her running through people's houses. Back doors are open, running over coffee tables, and those kids are just going through fucking walls.
Yeah, it's the crank shot.
The crank shot. Yeah. And when they finally get a hold of her, they just tear her to bits. Just like reaching in and pulling guts out. They're killing her on some unassuming person's front lawn. Yep. Just had no piece of this, just fucking getting murdered on some dude's lawn. And then again, Josh Brolin at that point, after saving Julie Garner, then comes up, grabs his kid, fuck the rest of them, and out he goes.
Yeah, I mean, he said, "Fuck them kids, fuck them kids." Is what he said.
Yes, he did. Yeah,
we out.
Yeah, he's got a family to repair, and that's what his focus is.
Yeah, dude.
Let's talk about like symbolism and kind of the deeper things, because I think that's one of the things I like most about this.
I was gonna ask because I'm very guilty of just taking a movie at surface level and just being like, "Oh, that was fucking cool."
Yeah.
And sometimes I need Petrus to point out the deeper meaning in things.
Yeah, so I think that it's very clear in this movie to me that
because I'm just like, oh, they fucking ripped her apart.
Yeah, and honestly, so I'm going to be real with you, Suge.
Yeah,
I had to watch this movie in the theater twice because the first time I didn't catch symbolism, because it's hard to think about symbolism when children are dismembering someone in the person's front yard, you know?
Yes.
Yeah. So not a lot of symbolism caught on that one. Second go around, I picked up that, like, you know, obviously there was a lot about addiction. There was a lot about alcoholism, which for those of you who don't know, we mentioned The Whitest Kids You Know. Is it Trevor was the other person in that?
Yeah. Trevor Moore, and there was like 3 other dudes.
So Trevor Moore is the other big partner of his, and Trevor Moore, I believe he died. I believe he had an alcohol problem. He was drunk, and didn't he die by like falling off a roof or something, or a balcony?
I thought it was a surfing accident.
Maybe, yeah, it was a surfing accident.
Yeah.
But he was drunk. He had a lot of addiction. And this, to me, was Zach Kreger's coming to terms with the ugliness that is addiction, I think. And that, so that's part of it, was that. I think that I've read theories. Now, I didn't pick up on this, but one of the biggest leading theories out there was that this was a metaphor for school shootings, right?
Okay.
Is that one kid comes in and the children are the weapons, that they bring their baggage, and that, you know, that's the metaphor. I didn't pick up on that the first time.
Neither did I.
But I see it now that is a metaphor. For me, again, I think the biggest thing I picked up on was when you look at like Josh Brolin, right? And how hard of a time he had where he was sleeping in the kid's room, and he was blowing away his marriage because he was so wrapped up with grief, right?
Distraught. Yeah.
I think that this movie picks up on, I think one of the big things is grief. I think it talks about how we deal with things differently. I think it also talks about how alcoholism and not dealing with grief can lead to things. So those are the two things I picked up on the most. Again, I didn't pick up on the original, the first two times I didn't pick up on the fact that the kids are the weapons and that this could be a kind of allegory or metaphor for school shootings, but I see it after it's been pointed out.
Yeah, yeah.
What about you two? Did y'all pick up on anything like that? Or what symbolism or things like that did y'all see?
Well, I mean, I think the initial thing is grief, right? I mean, the initial thing is grief and addiction. And I think it shows like, hey, Alex was almost a willing partner because of the bullying, right? You saw the bullying that was taking place through it. So that I could see where that could come in as definitely school shooting, or, you know, setting yourself up for being a conduit for something tragic to happen, is because maybe if he did have a better relationship with all those kids, he wouldn't want to betray those kids like that, or he would have a little bit more feelings. But again, he was kind of also like, fuck them kids.
Right. Yeah, and that's what they kind of point out, is that, like, in that theory that I read was, that's funny, fuck them kids. One of the things that I saw was kind of what you just said, Jordan, of like, that because he didn't have that great relationship with those kids, that like his knee-jerk reaction was, if something bad's got to happen, fuck them kids, you know? Yeah. Like, there are good people in this world that I don't really want to go through this, but those kids don't treat me well. And that's where I think that kind of allegory comes in, is like that trauma that he had, who's he going to take it out on? Them. I think a lot of people don't see that, didn't come to that conclusion, because Alex is a victim, right? But if anything, and one of the genius parts of Zach Cregger's is that I think he shows, and he does this in Barbarian, where monsters can be victims too, right? I mean, you having watched Barbarian, things are nuanced. Not everyone is good. Not all good people are good, and not all bad people are all bad.
Yeah.
And so I think I think you're spot on, you know, with what you said there, Jordan, that like he is kind of the conduit for that.
Man. Yeah, and I think, there was I always just call him Wong, right? From the Doctor Strange series. But he said a very poignant line to Julia Garner's character. But she was like, "I think it would make me feel better if I could just talk to him." And he goes, "That's the point. Make you feel better. You're not focused." And I think so many times when things like this go on, we get focused, wrapped up in our own grief and our own little world, and we see things so short-sighted that we don't kind of focus on the bigger picture. And I think that was a little bit of a telling thing of everybody was focused on their own little thing, instead of trying to focus on the big picture. Because I tell people that all the time, like, it's making you feel better. It's not making the greater situation feel better.
Yeah, I forgot about that line. That's great. Yeah, because I mean, I think you could feel. I think she did such a great performance of really making you feel sorry for her. Because I think you knew from the very beginning that she had no part in this. That she was not a party to this. She didn't cause this. So you instantly feel bad for her that she's going through this, has no explanation, is just as distraught and trying to figure this out as Josh Brolin. If anything, they're two peas in a pod. They're going through a similar situation, and they're showing you how they do things differently, but also similarly, right? Because, like, he's also dealing with grief in a terrible way. His is blowing off his family. As a contractor, he's not putting in, you know, orders for people. He's letting his business fall apart. His family's falling apart. His wife resents him because he doesn't care about that anymore. And then she's just living at the bottom of a vodka bottle, a cheap vodka bottle at that. So, I mean, it shows that they kind of deal with things differently, but still bad at the same time. Which to me makes that the end plot, the climax, all the better, because you've got these two people that finally get their closure, right?
Yeah. As a team.
Yeah.
I'll say this, even one more thing on that is, I think, I mean, how do I say this properly? But it's like, there's a common trope of, lack of logic in horror, right? There's even commercials about it now. Like, and they did it so well in this movie of course you're not supposed to go, like, if you are getting expelled from school or putting on, and they think that you're the person, don't follow the kid home. Like, that's logic 101,
Right.
don't lie, but they did it in such a better way than just the common, the killer's, walking towards me. Let me just walk, it's, they did it a really good way there of just kind of keeping her oblivious to everything else that's going on in the world and just kind of focused on her own problem.
Yes.
Dude, you're spot on. And I also love
Weapon in her own way.
Yeah,
absolutely. And I love that. Doesn't Alex warn her too? Doesn't he see her and he's basically like, dude, you gotta fucking don't do this. Like, do not go down this road.
Yeah.
Like, leave me alone. And of course, at the time, having half of the equation or a quarter or a fraction of the equation, she doesn't understand. She thinks that he's in grief. She doesn't understand that he's trying to protect her.
Yeah.
Which, again, is just tough when you consider of what age he is and what he has to go through, that trauma of seeing his parents, but also being the child that has to have that moral compass to try to protect another person who's trying to look out for you.
This movie is full of weapons. Trauma's used as a weapon. Like, systems are a weapon. Like,
yeah. Yes.
Damn, weapons.
Yeah, and the same sense. And again, I love your pan on that one. It's similar when we do Barbarian. I've got a similar take on Barbarian, where there are multiple themes in that I think that can be, because
for sure.
There are multiple monsters in that film, and some of them are obvious and some of them are not obvious. But there are at least 3, maybe 4 monsters in that movie. And so I think that similarly, where there are multiple barbarians, there are multiple weapons, right? Yeah.
Good call.
Yeah. Again, Jordan, you'll have to watch it. We'll have to do another review with you, because I think that if you like this film, and I actually think that film, tell me if you think if I'm wrong, Rob. I think Barbarian is more fun than this one. This was funny. I think that's a more fun ride.
I think I'll put it this way. My favorite of the two is Barbarian. I recognize that Weapons is the better film.
That's exactly how I would put it. Exactly. Yeah. I think, Jordan, I think that this movie is The Empire Strikes Back, and I think that Barbarian is Return of the Jedi. I think that one is more fun, one is more gratifying. It's a cool ride. The other one is the better made film, and I think that is this one for sure. But I do think that Barbarian is
Barbarian makes some really great artistic choices in narrative like this does.
It does. Yeah, it does. It also has Justin Long in both films.
Can I tell you what you just said? So you said about Empire and Return of the Jedi. Mine is Two Towers is way more fun of a film than I think Return of the King is. But everybody, Return of the King is the one that won all the Oscars and everything. I think Two Towers is my favorite Lord of the Rings movie.
I'm with you. I'm 100% with you.
Yeah, Two Towers was one I slept on as a kid when it came out. I don't know why, but it didn't. I revisited as an adult, and I agree. Two Towers is the better film.
I'm 100% with you. It's so fun.
Yeah, it is. It's a much better film. I think one's a great, and I would almost say that it's kind of in the trilogy. If you look at Star Wars, right, where you've got, New Hope is your setup movie, and the next two are the punch ups.
Yeah,
it's that way, but it's flip flop. Whereas your better film, your more fun film comes second, and your better film comes third. It's the opposite for Star Wars, where your better one is second and your more fun one comes last. But for sure. Barbarian is a more fun film. I can't wait for you to see it. I think you're going to dig it, especially if you like his type of like horror / fun.
Yes,
I do think that this is, in my opinion, more of a thinker's film. So you're thinking the whole time of like,
it's a puzzle.
It is a puzzle. You are trying the whole time to try to figure out. You're trying to figure out what's going on. The whole movie, you're trying to figure out who is doing this, why is it happening, and then even when you figured it out about 2/3 of the way through on how everything's doing it, you're trying to figure out how they're going to get out of this, right?
Right.
Barbarian is a very classically paced movie where it is, you're just trying to get out of a fucking situation. Like, you're just trying to get out of a situation. Eerie build up, and then when it hits the gas, it pretty much doesn't let up, right?
Oh, it's full tilt boogie.
Yeah, and like Jordan, when I tell you he hits the gas, he stomps that bastard, and he doesn't let go. So, I mean, it goes from like an eerie pace to he stomps that gas and never lets up.
I want to say a few things about this. So, here's what I do love about horror. You're talking about pacing and everything. I am somebody who loves to see foreshadowing, and I love the fact that 217 didn't mean a damn thing. It like subtly, it was just a time. I loved, because I was thinking, what is 217? What is 217? I loved that it didn't mean a damn thing.
17.
I loved that it was 2 hours. It got with it. It got with the movie. It was 2 hours. It's not overly long, because as much as I love Dune 2, it can drag out. And I love that the 45-minute mark, the 45-minute mark is when it got busy.
Nosferatu.
It got busy at 45 minutes when they were at the gas station. Julia Garner, Josh Brolin, Julia Garner, we're at the gas station, and Benedict Wong's character comes at you. And that's when at 45 minutes, you realize, oh, something else is afoot here. Because I wrote in my notes, at 43 minutes, I'm like, hey, because I took a whole page of notes on this thing, and I said, 43 minutes, we still don't have a clue, would like an answer. In 2 minutes, I got an answer.
Nice, dude.
So Jordan, anybody that listens to this will have known by now that Rob is a massive fan of body horror. So gore, not just gore, but like grotesque gore.
Yeah.
Did you get that with Wong, with Benedict Wong's kind of look?
Oh, yes, 100%, dude. Like,
yeah, and I remember looking at the trailer and seeing his face, because they showed that, and I remember thinking, is this a virus? Is that what this is? And then kind of, to your point, Jordan, it wasn't. His looks played nothing into the narrative. It was a tragic event that happened to him.
Yep. It was just something terrible.
Oh, man. Yeah. And, again, the scene with his partner and just that, God, it's rough.
It's a tough movie.
Yeah, I will say and I'm drawing a blank on her name, the actress that plays Gladys.
Yeah.
Amy Madigan. Amy Madigan is her name.
Amy Madigan. I don't really follow kind of the Oscars. I don't really care. I think a lot of those movies are put out there for Oscar bait. But one of the funny things that I saw was that every critic out there basically said the same thing. Best supporting actor, best actor, best actress is a toss-up. It could be anybody's game. across the board, everyone said Amy Madigan's going to win that Oscar. There was no doubt, and I don't know if she won it unanimously, but they basically came out and said it wasn't even close. That Amy Madigan walked away with it. And yeah, of course she did. She was menacing, and like you said, Rob, she didn't say much. She didn't have to say much.
No.
She made you squirm, which is something I like in a movie where I feel incredibly uncomfortable. When she was in that,
dude,
those scenes.
The makeup crew on this movie.
Yeah, practical
on
effects.
Gladys.
Yeah, the teeth.
Nailed it. Just nailed it so hard.
Yeah. Was there anything, Jordan, you took a lot of notes. Was there anything that we didn't like about this movie? Was there anything that we thought could have been done differently? I will say I remember when I watched it, I don't have a lot of negative. The one thing is actually kind of to your point, like, Jordan, when you talk about 43 minutes, there was a point where my foreshadowing, my kind of wanting the twist, wanting to know what's going on, at 43 minutes, I'm like, okay, what the fuck is going on? I'm starting to get a little agitated about this. I want to know what this build-up and shift. Like, I know I'm getting there, but what is it? That was my only complaint in the theater. And then again, when he stomped it on the gas, he never let up.
No. I think with the ending of this film, I think we could have shaved about 15 minutes off of it.
Okay.
Like an hour 45 with that ending, just boom, 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 bang. I think that would have been a little bit better payoff. But
is there anything you would have cut in particular?
That's the thing, though, right? Like, all of it feels pretty necessary.
Yeah, I think that you could have cut a little bit out when you got I don't know necessarily the scenes where Alex is feeding the kids, like explaining, like, I don't think you need a lot of that build up where he's in there feeding the children.
Yeah.
I mean, I know why it's there. It's talking about his like it goes back to like grief, right? And like that he's dealing with trauma.
Yeah.
And so I know why it's there, but I think to your point, we could have gotten it and had the same movie.
I think so.
I think you could have.
Yeah,
I mean, I think you could have cut a lot of Paul from this movie, and it still could have been a pretty good movie. Because like the little scene between his fiance and her throwing the vodka on Julie Garner's character and stuff like that, I think I could have went with Rob like that, of you cut some of that stuff off and trim a little bit here and there, and you could be at that hour 45 where that would have felt, because one of my notes were a little slow, and that's not, I said compelling. Compelling, beautiful camera work in this movie, but just a little slow. And I think if you had that hour 45 mark, you're really getting with it in that movie.
And I will say, I think it could have benefited from just a little bit more of like background of Gladys's magic system, but I guess we're going to get that. So I what's funny, I think you and I, Rob, switch places on this one, because I'm always the one that I want more. So, like, one of the movies, Jordan, we talk about a lot, and if you've not seen it, another great, I can tell you with zero conviction, I know that you'll dig Ty West's trilogy, the X trilogy. So it's X, then Pearl, then Maxine, and that's in order, but in timeline order, it's Pearl, X, and Maxine. Check that out. But one of my chief complaints about X was Pearl's character. And I'm like, why is she being the way that, like, why is this old lady killing fucking people? It makes no sense. And Rob was like, that's the fucking beauty of this movie, is we don't know why she's just murdering people, really. And then you get Pearl, and you kind of figure it out. But we usually do that, where I'm the guy who's like, I want more. I need to know more about it. And he's like, I'm cool with not knowing. That makes it all the better. And I think we switched places on this one, because I don't need more on Gladys. I think the scariest part is that she shows up in the middle of the night and just hijacks that family. And it's just like,
Where does she get that magic? Don't know, don't care.
Yeah.
My brain went to so many places on what Gladys was or wasn't. Now, am I going to watch an hour and 45, 2-hour movie with Gladys that's all Gladys? Yeah, I will.
Yes.
Let me ask you guys this question. Did that give, so what you just said, Hunter, did that give you, is that what Nope was trying to create in horror? Because I did watch Nope as well. It's horrifying, and I don't need to see,
Ooh.
I just need the monster. The monster's terrifying itself. Is that what Gladys is, right?
Yeah.
And is that what that's coming out to be?
Yeah. Yes. Yeah. I think that's what it is for me. Because Nope was so. Nope did that 1970s Jaws, like 70s era Jaws, where you had the terror of Jaws without actually seeing Jaws, right? So Steven Spielberg does a lot.
And without even knowing it's a Jaws until the last 20 minutes of the movie.
Yeah, until we need a bigger boat, really.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, you don't really...
That's perfect. Yeah, until we need a bigger boat. That's perfect.
Yeah, I mean, until then, we don't really know a lot about Jaws. But that's what I think I'm leaning more into, Jordan, is that I like the not knowing. I like the and Nope, great movie. I think you don't know jack shit about it until it finally brings it up and everything kind of comes full circle. But even then, there's still so much in that movie that's left unanswered. Like,
oh, yeah.
How long has it been here? Why did it come here? Like, you just have this sort of like anomaly alien that seems to show up in the same location all the time and doesn't really mention it anywhere else on Earth, right?
Yeah, yeah.
There's a lot of unanswered questions that it really sort of makes you even more itchy because you're like, okay, you actually may have left me with more questions than answers.
Yeah. I think so. I think Nope was trying to tell a story more about spectacle and the downside of that, and I think it does it really well. And I think that in the same way that Nope, in the same way that Nope saves that reveal, this does save that reveal. And it does create those questions.
Yeah.
Yeah. Fair enough. But I think Nope's a fucking masterpiece.
Well, it is the best of his three?
I think
4?
so. I think it's easily.
Yeah, because there's Get Out,
yeah.
Us, and Nope, right? That's the 3.
Yes. Yep.
Oh, no. He's got him. 4. Him.
That's right.
So, yeah, Get Out.
I thought he just produced that.
No, he directed it, I thought.
I'm not sure on that. I'm not sure.
I hope he didn't. Have you seen it?
I haven't. I have not.
No, you're 100% right. You're 100% right. Justin Tipping was the director of that. You're 100% right.
Because I was like, oh boy, if he did that.
I should have caught that.
We are entering our Shyamalan years.
That's fucking funny. That's funny. Yeah, because I should have clocked that, Rob, because any time a movie markets produced by, it's not going to be good, right?
Yes.
Like anytime they're talking about directed by the same guy who brought you Jurassic Park, it's Steven Spielberg. That's one thing. But when you say brought to you by the same guy who produced by the same guy who directed Transformers, I'm like, I don't need Michael Bay. I'm not interested.
Good.
Yeah,
I'm good.
So,
or produced by Daddy Fat Sacks who threw money at this project. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
I don't fucking.
Yeah, no, I'm good. Yeah, so no, I haven't seen him yet, but so you're right. Of the 3, of Us, Get Out, Nope. I don't know. I've got a soft spot for Get Out. I do. I love Get Out, but I would put him.
The performances in Get Out are just I mean, they're putting on a fucking clinic in that movie.
Yeah.
I will
And
say
I'm also
yes.
a huge fan of Bradley Whitford.
You're right that the performances were great, but the chimpanzee scene in Nope, there might not be anything more terrifying.
Dude.
Have you? I'm assuming, Jordan, with you talking about you're dipping back into horror. There's a new movie out, Primate, which is a whole movie of that.
No, I haven't seen
It's
it.
just that's.
I was going to watch it tonight with Amber.
But it's a movie, so it's Primate. It's a young white girl that's got a pet chimpanzee, and shit pop off. That's all it is.
I can't wait.
Yeah, Brad just reviewed it, and he said it was great. So
Awesome.
yeah. Yeah. So anything else we want to add to this? Any other?
I mean, I got one thing. If you guys don't mind.
Yeah.
The cast was phenomenal, and I'm glad. I think that's when we're talking about the renaissance of horror is getting this cast, and if I can shine on Josh Brolin for 1 second, I'm going to, because the dude, if you've ever heard the story,
Please do.
was dead broke after No Country for Old Men. He got no money during that, and he was dead broke. He was an alcoholic and dead broke.
Oh.
And he, so that was before he did Avengers, and then he did American Gangster with Denzel. And he thought that he was getting 60 grand for like his bonus check for how it did, and it was 600 grand instead of 60 grand, and it changed his life for how good American Gangster did, and that's what propelled him into getting into the Avengers and Thanos and everything, Cable, what he's doing now, and even Weapons.
Right.
Is so any kind of love I can always give to Josh Brolin, that man's got it.
Yeah, and, I mean, if you think about it, he also had that stinker Jonah Hex.
Yeah.
Another comic book movie on the DC side, because he was for a while one of the only people who had dipped his toes into the Disney MCU, the Fox MCU, and DC.
Yeah.
So yeah, he absolutely
has been through the ringer, dude.
He has. So yeah, I mean, you know, I've said this and I'll say it again. One of my all-time favorite movies, probably not my number one, is The Goonies. I love it. Yeah. So from an early age, I love me some Josh Brolin. I'm always going to give him love. I think he crushed this. He put on a clinic as the grieving father. That is just struggling to let it go, and just, you know, where other people are just moving on with their grief, he is toxically staying with it. And so I think he nailed it. But Jordan, I want to circle back that, like, you know, I think you're exactly right. And we've talked about this on this podcast, that it's what brought me back into horror, is that movies now, if we think about horror back in the early 2000s, which is our kind of coming of age of horror, we were looking at either B stars that were coming off of their careers and being put into horror, or we were looking at people who were just starting their careers that were getting into horror. It was kind of one or the other. You didn't have big names really coming in and embracing horror and saying, yeah, I want, but you also didn't have directors. You had, I mean, if you take Saw was the beginning of James Wan's career, but look at what he's done since, you know? I mean, that now we have directors who are dipping in and out of horror and are you know, like Kreger's, for example. I mean, he's doing the is it Resident Evil?
Oh yeah.
Yep.
Raccoon City. So I mean, you know, I think that that's the fun thing about where we are in film right now, is that and it's one of the things that I think that actors are kind of bitching about with the streaming wars and the streaming age, is that we aren't having as much in the theater, and now movies are going straight there, and that's killing the kind of box office film and the way that people are conventionally putting budget to film. But in the same way, we're getting passion projects, and so we're getting movies that are more Peele and more Zach Cregger's, and I mean, A24. I mean, we A24 is another one where it is nothing but passion projects.
I think it all speaks to the exactly what Jordan was talking about with the horror renaissance. Like, you've got huge names attached, you've got huge directors attached, people that are, but not only like huge directors that are horror directors.
Yeah.
And I guess you've kind of always had that with Carpenter and like Wes Craven and shit like that. But like in the streaming age and people having nothing but content to fill, like you've also got this surge of new directors that are getting a shot at horror and getting a shot at original stories. Like, who's that cat out of Australia that just did Bring Her Back? And
we talked about it on the last episode.
Yeah, if you've not seen Bring Her Back or the other movie they did, Talk to Me, those are fucking phenomenal.
Danny Philippou?
I think so, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. And honestly, here's the other thing. We talk about Renaissance. Dude, Shyamalan's had a comeback.
Yeah.
So you earlier in the episode, Jordan, when you were talking about Horror Nights and Blumhouse. So Blumhouse, back before the pandemic, because the pandemic is what kind of changed everything. Because that's what introduced us to, I don't have to go to the movie theater. I can just enjoy this at my house. And that changed everything, for better or for worse, however you want to look at it. If I'm being honest with you, as a guy who likes to watch it comfortably and not deal with fucking people around me, I like it. But if you're Emilio Casano, one of our close friends, you hate it because you have to see it in IMAX and all that. Yes. But, I think that Blumhouse was, prior to the pandemic, was the studio that would give people their chance, and it gave Shyamalan his chance back with The Visit, I think. Was that it? And he came back, and now, I mean, that one that he did, Trap, with the dude from Pearl Harbor, Josh, what's his name?
Josh Hartnett.
Hartnett, thank you. If you haven't seen Trap from Shyamalan, it's not
fantastic.
Really horror, it's a thriller.
It's fantastic. It's fun.
It's so good. It's so good. It's also the first movie where Shyamalan is a little subtle with his twist, right? Like, that's the worst part of Shyamalan, is you wait for he's got a twist on everything, and it's become a trope where it's coming, so it takes the power out of it. Because that's one of my favorite things is I love a movie that catches me off guard. I love a movie that catches me off guard.
100%.
And when you know it's coming and every fucking thing he does, nothing's going to catch you off guard anymore.
No.
That one was so subtle that it did catch me off guard when you figure out about the mother at the end, or the wife. So I think it's fun kind of where we're at. And again, Jordan, we got to get you back on, especially you talk Barbarian, because I think if you love this one, you're going to love that one.
100%.
Lots of cool shit in that one. A lot of fun talks. And if you like Cregger's, I think you're going to dig it. Do you want to talk finger sandwiches?
Give us some finger sandwiches.
So, Jordan, we, in the spirit of that this podcast got its legs on me and Suge doing this on our lunch break. So that's the lunch portion of this. We now give our movies finger sandwiches. So five is our max. So Rob, do you want to start? How many finger sandwiches do you give this?
Dude, I really, really like this movie. Is it as good as like my Mount Rushmore movies? Yeah, maybe, if I think about it. Like, I'm going to go Smoke.
Your dog is upset.
Smoke, shut the... Grow up. Grow up.
I was about
Okay.
I love that. That's bonus content for you.
Giving it. Fuck, now he thinks I'm playing. Okay. Giving it. I'm going to give it 4.75 sandwiches.
Damn. Okay.
Because it is one that I'm going to come back to. I could see myself revisiting it as often as I would revisit a Hereditary or something.
Okay.
Is it as good as a Hereditary? Almost.
Okay.
Damn close.
Okay.
And Hereditary is one of my 5 out of 5 horror movies, so I'm going 4.75.
Love it. I'm going to go with 4.5 for me.
Nice.
There's one thing, and I briefly talked on it, that I think the difference between it and Barbarian is that Barbarian starts you off with that eerie feeling where you feel so uncomfortable in your get-go. This one didn't have that. He went for something different, and I admire what he went for, but it translated differently, where that one never felt boring. This one had bits where it felt a little slow to get you to where you needed to get, and for that reason it's 4.5. But if he had paced it just slightly different, I think, like you said, maybe cutting 15 out by pacing it differently, I think it would probably be a perfect movie for me, but just came short on that ramp off.
Yeah. Solid rating. Solid reasoning.
Jordan?
All right. So now this is my first ever finger sandwich rating, so I'm glad you guys went decimals so I know where I'm going. In our ratings, in our rating system, we have, we go one of 10. So to cut it by half, I think this is a perfect 4.3. I think it's perfect.
Nice.
It's a perfect 4.3 just because, and I always tell somebody, if it's an 8 or above, you got to watch it, right? And I say anything like 7 could be a personal preference, but if it's 8 and above, you got to watch it. And I think you got to watch Weapons.
I like that.
Yeah,
so,
I love that.
So I keep it. 9 is, there's no 10s, right? There's no 10s. 9s are in a unique category to themselves for me. So, 4.5 and above for you guys. So I think it sits right on that threshold of great movie, amazing cast, shot awesome. Like the one camera shots are phenomenal. And there's several of them there. I love how they use the Northwest scenery as a character and as this place where, it's still a little chilling in the woods. And so I would say a 4.3 is perfect.
Yeah, and again, I keep coming back to Barbarian, but if you like the way that it uses scenery as a character, you're going to love Barbarian because it's shot in Detroit.
Yeah.
Perfect.
And Detroit is a character. It looms throughout the entire, and it's not a glance. It is a character from start to finish. And it's got its own kind of age that comes with it, where it's got a young one and an old one and an in-between. So,
Sick.
Perfect. So that's pretty solid. I think that I think all of our ratings are pretty well within, 4.3 to a 4.75 is pretty solid in my book.
That's where I would put this film in the 8 to 10 range,
Yep.
Yeah, perfect. Cool. Well, Jordan, it's been a pleasure. We really appreciate you joining us. So where can the people find you? Tell us now. We'll have our plug, so please tell us what you got coming up, where we can find you, how we can support you, because we want to give you more love.
Man,
all the love.
Hunter,
Let us love you.
Rob, thanks for having me on. I mean this always. Anytime you need somebody on the show, let me know. I would love to join. And so you can always find me at JordanOwen_NSM on Instagram. That's where you find me. That's where I plug pretty much everything from there. So I keep up with trivia shows, hosting events. Future podcast will be coming out. If you want to follow the Watchlist Wednesday Instagram page, we have a Watchlist Wednesday Instagram page. It's at Watchlist Wednesday Pod, I believe, on Instagram. So we're going to be putting some new episodes out this coming year. I would say if we want to do a multiverse of madness, we bring Tevin in, and we have we have you guys, and we kind of do a little, like the old with Jimmy Neutron and Timmy Turner had the mixing of the episodes, the old school Nickelodeon days.
Do a crossover.
Yeah, we can do a crossover episode.
I'm with it.
Great.
That'll be super fun.
Yeah, and we'll have to bring Brad into that one because Brad is also a fellow comic book nerd. And what's funny, Jordan, this is actually, we're cutting off at the very end, but in our original episodes, we when we were talking about themes and stuff, we had Tomes of Darkness where we would talk about books, and I would always plug comic books. So we're no, Suge and I are absolutely no strangers to comic books. We love them. Would love that crossover to talk about Multiverse of Madness and horror.
Give me a reason to read some comics.
Yeah, 100%.
All right. So I'm about to jump off. I'm about to go host a show. Can I give you one comic book plug for you guys, if you don't mind?
Please.
Of course.
Yeah.
Absolute Batman. Read it. Look it up. Research it.
Batman.
Absolute Batman is phenomenal. Phenomenal.
Okay.
I've seen the art. It looks amazing. I can't wait to read it. I'm excited about it. Should just Google the artwork and I know you're in.
Okay. I'm looking it up.
Jordan, you go on, you host. Rob, you can plug your stuff, but Jordan, it's been a pleasure. We appreciate you.
Hey, thanks, guys.
Oh, this looks killer. Yeah, dude, thank you so much for coming on.
Hey, thanks, guys. I really appreciate it. Love the show, and you got a fan out of me. So thanks, guys.
If you like listening to the Slumber Party Massacre Luncheon, you should do yourself a favor and check out some of the other shows that we offer. We've got a little bit of something for everybody, surely something else to tickle your fancy. We've got That Don't Work For Me, Brother, a wrestling podcast for marks by marks. We've got Bullshittin', The Revolution Will Be Broadcast, The Horny Little Book Club, and The Black Manifold Transmissions. Also, be on the lookout for the Uppercut podcast, and do me a favor, get on Facebook and check out the Midnight Mass with Reverend Leroy Rott and Brother Herman Innards. We've got some shows coming up. We've got a show at Birdie's May 9th. We're going to be screening the film Wishmaster.
Oh, yeah.
Right, dude?
Yeah.
So be sure to come out and check us out. It's a good time. You're going to laugh. Smoke loves it. What else do we got going on? Shout out Natural State Wrestling. They put on a hell of a show. And that'll be the end of that. Until next week, be sure to look under the bed. Until next week, be sure to check under the bed for the monster and look over your shoulder for the boss. The luncheon is over.
Drink some of this, Michael. Be one of us.